Let me ask you something. When was the last time you put yourself first? Not in theory, not in a passing thought. I mean truly, deliberately, unapologetically put yourself first. Think about it. How many times have you dropped everything to help someone else? But when you needed someone, all you got was silence? How many times have you bent over backward, trying to be there for people who wouldn't even step forward for you? And let's be real, it's exhausting, isn't it? It's draining to give, give, and give, only to be left feeling empty. But you know what's even worse? The fact that you let it happen. Because no one forces you to put yourself last. No one makes you sacrifice your dreams, your time, your energy for people who wouldn't do the same for you. That's a choice, a habit, a cycle that you have to break. I know it's hard. I know you want to be the good person, the one who shows up, the one who cares, the one who never says no. But let me tell you something. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. Let that sink in. Because every time you prioritize someone else's needs over your own, every time you invest your energy into people who don't invest back, you're not being noble. You're being negligent. Negligent of your own life, your own goals, your own happiness. And the truth is, some people don't even appreciate it. They expect it. They take your time, your energy, your kindness, and they move on without a second thought. So why are you doing this to yourself? Look around. Look at your life. How many things have you put on hold? How many dreams have you abandoned? How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it later, only to realize later never comes? I'm telling you, stop. Stop waiting. Stop hoping that people will change. Stop expecting them to value you when you don't even value yourself enough to say no. It's time. It's time to shift the focus back to you, to stop making everyone else the main character in your story, to stop giving away the best parts of yourself to people who don't deserve them. And I know some of you are thinking, but what if they need me? Let me tell you something. They will manage. They always do. The same way they've managed when you are the one struggling and they weren't there. So today, right now, make a decision to put yourself first, because no one else will do it for you. Not everyone deserves your time. Read that again. Because if you don't understand this, you will spend your entire life pouring into people who will never pour back into you. And if you're not careful one day, you'll wake up and realize you've given the best years of your life, your energy, and your potential to people who didn't even deserve a fraction of it. Let's be real. How many times have you gone out of your way for someone who wouldn't even take a step for you? How many times have you cleared your schedule, dropped everything, and rearranged your priorities for people who barely acknowledge your effort, and yet you keep doing it? You keep hoping that maybe this time they'll appreciate it, that maybe this time they'll show up for you the way you've always shown up for them. But deep down, you already know the truth. They won't. Because some people don't want you for who you are. They want you for what you can do for them. They don't see you as a person with needs, dreams, and emotions. They see you as a resource, a convenience, someone they can rely on whenever it suits them. And once they get what they want, they disappear until the next time they need something. And let's talk about the worst part, the guilt, that heavy, suffocating feeling that creeps in the moment you even think about setting boundaries. Because society has conditioned you to believe that saying no makes you selfish, that putting yourself first makes you a bad person. But let me ask you something. If someone only likes you when you're doing things for them, do they really like you, or do they just like what they can get from you? If your worth in someone's life is based entirely on what you provide, then that is not a relationship, it's an arrangement. And let me be blunt, you are not a convenience. You are not a doormat. You are not a 24/7 on-call emotional support system for people who wouldn't even pick up the phone for you. The truth is, you need to start protecting your time like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Every minute you waste on the wrong people is a minute stolen from your own dreams, your own happiness, your own future. So how do you fix this? How do you stop letting the wrong people drain your energy? First, you need to start paying attention. Pay attention to who calls you only when they need something. Pay attention to who disappears the moment you're the one who needs support. Pay attention to who respects your time and who just assumes you'll always be available. Second, you need to learn the power of silence. Not every message needs a reply. Not every favor needs a yes. Not every person deserves access to you just because they ask. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to step back and let people experience life without your constant support. And finally, you need to be okay with losing people, because the truth is, the moment you start valuing yourself, some people will walk away, not because you did anything wrong, but because they can no longer benefit from you the way they used to. And that's okay. Let them go, because the right people, the ones who genuinely care, they won't leave just because you set boundaries. They won't disappear just because you stopped overextending yourself. In fact, they'll respect you more for it. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you want to spend your life proving your worth to people who never truly valued you? Or do you want to reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace? The choice is yours. Your energy is limited. You might not realize it, but every single day you wake up with a finite amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy. And the way you choose to spend it determines the quality of your life. But here's the problem. Most people don't think about how they're spending their energy. They just give and give as if they have an unlimited supply, as if they won't one day wake up feeling completely drained, exhausted, and empty. Does that sound familiar? You're always saying yes. You're always trying to help. You're always there for everyone, making sure no one feels alone, making sure no one struggles, making sure you don't let anyone down. But what about you? Who's making sure you don't feel alone? Who's making sure you don't struggle? Who's making sure you don't burn out from carrying the weight of everyone else's problems? Because let me tell you something, there is a cost to constantly giving your energy away. And that cost is you, your peace, your happiness, your dreams. Have you ever wondered why you feel so tired all the time? Why you feel drained even when you've had enough sleep? Why your mind feels foggy, why your motivation disappears, why everything starts feeling overwhelming? It's not just exhaustion, it's emotional depletion. See, when you spend all your energy on others, on their problems, their needs, their crises, you leave nothing for yourself. And that's when life starts to feel empty. That's when you stop feeling excited about your goals. That's when your creativity dies, your passion fades, and your own problems start feeling impossible to solve. Because you've given away all your power. Think about it. How often do you feel completely drained after talking to certain people? How often do you walk away from a conversation feeling worse than you did before? How often do you realize that while you're always there to support others, no one is really supporting you? That's not by accident. That's because some people don't just take your time, they take your energy. They dump their problems on you. They expect you to fix things for them. They lean on you so much that you become their emotional crutch. And without realizing it, you let them. But at what cost? At the cost of your own mental health, your own emotional stability, your own ability to focus on your own life. Here's the truth you need to accept. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves your emotional investment. You need to start being intentional about where your energy goes. You need to stop giving it away to people and situations that leave you feeling empty. Because when you constantly pour into others without refilling yourself, you don't just run out, you start to break down. So what can you do? First, you need to identify your energy drains. Pay attention to the people and situations that leave you feeling exhausted. Who makes you feel lighter and who makes you feel heavier? Who adds to your life and who just takes? Second, you need to set boundaries. Stop letting people unload their problems on you without your permission. Stop answering every call, responding to every message, and always being available. Your time and energy are valuable. Start treating them that way. Third, you need to prioritize yourself. And I know that sounds selfish, but it's not. Because when you take care of yourself, you have more to give to the things that actually matter. When you protect your energy, you become a better version of yourself, not just for you, but for the people who truly deserve it. At the end of the day, you only have so much energy to give. So ask yourself, are you spending it on things that make you better, stronger, and happier? Or are you wasting it on people and situations that drain you, leaving nothing left for yourself? The answer to that question will define the quality of your life. Saying no is self-care. But for some reason, you struggle with it. You hesitate. You feel guilty. You worry about how others will react. You think that if you say no, people will be disappointed, upset, or maybe even walk away. So instead, you say yes. You agree to things you don't want to do. You take on responsibilities that aren't yours. You push your own needs to the side just to keep others happy. And what does that leave you with? Stress, exhaustion, resentment. You end up feeling like a doormat, like everyone else's needs matter more than your own. And the worst part, people start expecting it from you. They start assuming that you'll always say yes, that you'll always be there, that you'll always put them first, because that's what you've trained them to believe. And the cycle continues. But let me tell you something. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to yourself, no to your peace, no to your own dreams, no to the things that actually make you happy. So why do you keep doing it? Why is it so hard to say no? Because you're afraid of disappointing people, afraid of confrontation, afraid that if you set boundaries, people won't like you anymore. But here's the truth. If someone gets mad at you for setting a boundary, it means they were benefiting from you having none. Read that again. People who truly care about you will respect your no. They will understand that you have limits, that you have your own life, that you can't always be available for everyone at all times. But the people who get angry, the ones who make you feel guilty, the ones who try to manipulate you into saying yes, they were never in your life for the right reasons to begin with. And that's why saying no is so important, because it reveals who truly respects you and who only sees you as a convenience. Think about how much time and energy you would get back if you stopped saying yes out of guilt. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you stopped overcommitting yourself. Picture a life where you actually had the freedom to focus on what you want instead of constantly managing everyone else's expectations. That's what happens when you start saying no. So how do you do it? First, you need to remind yourself that you don't owe anyone an explanation. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to make excuses. You don't have to over-explain. If something doesn't serve you, drain you, or take up space you need for yourself, say no, and let that be the end of it. Second, practice it. Start small. Say no to little things first, things that don't matter much but still take up your time. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and before you know it, you'll have the confidence to say no to bigger things without hesitation. Third, understand that not everyone will like it, and that's okay, because you are not responsible for managing other people's reactions. You are not here to live your life according to what makes others comfortable. You are here to protect your peace, your time, and your well-being. And finally, remind yourself why you're doing this. You are saying no so you can say yes to yourself, yes to your mental health, yes to your happiness, yes to the life you actually want, not the one that's dictated by other people's needs. Saying no isn't selfish. It's survival. It's self-respect. It's self-care. So the next time someone asks you to do something that you know in your heart you don't want to do, take a deep breath, stand your ground, and say it with confidence. No. You are not responsible for saving everyone. Let that sink in. Because for too long, you've carried the weight of other people's problems as if they were your own. You've taken on responsibilities that were never meant for you. You've exhausted yourself trying to fix, rescue, and heal people who refuse to help themselves. And what does it cost you? Your peace, your happiness, your sense of self? Think about it. How many times have you put your own life on hold because someone else needed you? How many times have you sacrificed your energy, your time, and even your dreams because you felt like it was your job to be there for everyone? But here's the truth. You are not a superhero. You are not the solution to everyone's struggles. And most importantly, you are not responsible for carrying burdens that don't belong to you. I get it. You're a caring person. You have a big heart. You don't want to see people suffer. But somewhere along the way, you started believing that it was your duty to make everything better. That if you didn't step in, if you didn't help, then somehow you were failing them. But let me ask you something. Who told you that? Who made you believe that it was your responsibility to save people from themselves? Because here's what they don't tell you. Some people don't want to be saved. Some people don't want solutions. They want sympathy. Some people will continue making the same mistakes no matter how many times you try to help them. And you know what happens when you keep trying to save them? You lose yourself. You become drained, frustrated, resentful. You start feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. Because the truth is, it isn't enough. Not because you're failing, but because it was never your battle to fight in the first place. The moment you realize this, everything changes. The moment you understand that you are only responsible for your own life, you free yourself from the emotional exhaustion that comes with carrying other people's problems. So what do? How do you stop taking on everyone else's weight? First, understand that helping is not the same as saving. It's okay to offer support, but there's a difference between helping someone and taking on their entire burden. You can be there for people without losing yourself in the process. Second, recognize when people are using you as an emotional crutch. Some people don't actually want to change. They just want someone to constantly lean on. They want someone to listen to their problems, but never actually take steps to fix them. And that's not fair to you. Third, start saying, "That's not my responsibility." It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's necessary. Other people's choices, mistakes, and problems are not for you to fix. You can support them, but their life is theirs to figure out. Fourth, stop feeling guilty for putting yourself first. You are not abandoning anyone by focusing on your own well-being. You are simply choosing to live your life instead of spending it fixing everyone else's. And finally, trust that people will manage, because they will. You are not the only source of strength they have. People are more resilient than you think, and sometimes the best thing you can do for them is to step back and let them figure things out on their own. You are not responsible for saving everyone. You never were. Your dreams matter too, but for some reason you keep putting them last. You keep telling yourself, "I'll do it later." You keep postponing, pushing, and prioritizing everything and everyone else over the things that truly set your soul on fire. And the question is, why? Why do you keep making excuses? Why do you keep treating your dreams like an afterthought? Why do you give your time, energy, and focus to everything except the life you actually want to build? I'll tell you why. Because somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that other people's needs were more important than your own. You started believing that your dreams could wait, that once you finished helping everyone else, once you took care of all your responsibilities, then you'd finally have time for yourself. But that time never comes, does it? Because there's always something, always someone, another favor to do, another crisis to manage, another distraction pulling you further and further away from what you truly want. And before you know it, months have passed, years. You look around and realize that the life you once dreamed of, it's still sitting in the someday category. It's still waiting. But here's the truth. Your dreams will never happen if you keep treating them like an option instead of a priority. Because no one is going to hand you the perfect moment. No one is going to clear your schedule for you. No one is going to come along and say, "Okay, now it's your turn." If you don't claim your time, it will be taken from you. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for approval? Because let me tell you, some people will never support your dreams. Some people will always think they're unrealistic, impractical, or selfish. And if you keep waiting for them to validate you, you will waste your whole life living on their terms instead of your own. Are you waiting for the right time because that perfect timing you're hoping for? It doesn't exist. Life will always be busy. You will always have responsibilities. And if you don't carve out time for your dreams now, you never will. Or are you waiting to feel ready? Because if that's the case, you'll be waiting forever. No one ever feels fully ready to chase something big. But the people who make their dreams happen, they start anyway. And that's what you need to do. You need to stop treating your dreams like a luxury and start treating them like a necessity, because they are. Because your happiness, your fulfillment, your sense of purpose, they depend on it. So here's what you need to do. First, decide that your dreams are non-negotiable. No more treating them like an afterthought. No more putting them off. They deserve space in your life, and it's up to you to make that happen. Second, set boundaries around your time. Stop giving every ounce of your energy to things that don't move you forward. Protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Third, take action now. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Even if it's just one small step, take it. Because momentum builds, but only if you start. Fourth, stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone a justification for wanting more out of life. Your dreams don't have to make sense to anyone else. They just have to matter to you. And finally, believe that you deserve this. Because you do. You deserve to live a life that excites you. You deserve to pursue the things that make you feel alive. You deserve more than just surviving. You deserve to thrive. But none of that will happen unless you stop waiting. Your dreams matter. Now act like it.